neutral. We're not talking about any rules in particular today. I want to show you one of the projects that I've been working on. In the past, I have mentioned that 2022 is the year I try to up my terrain game. The American Diner is in 15 millimeter. The figures here are all by Rebel Miniatures. We've got a Fed, and one of the things that I have found is that, and I'm not breaking any new ground here. Lots of people smarter than I already knew this. If you use a matchbox-sized vehicle, it will be oversized relative to your figures. And I picked a black figure to put up against a black vehicle because I'm a smart... Wait a minute. That's another black... that's another figure in a dark... do we have a... There's a guy a little more colorful. One of our Boog boys. Look at that. He barely comes up to the window. Junior there is super tiny. I wonder if we could get a little bit lower, and this might even work a little bit better. He can barely see over the hood of this vehicle, right? He's very tiny. You know, I'm going to come down a little bit further. Oh, yeah, I think that's way better. Now you can see that our red hat can barely see over the hood of this vehicle. It works fine as a representation, but generally speaking, when you're doing miniature wargaming, you know, this diner is only going to be about 20 by, like, what is it, 50 feet across. It's very small. You generally step down in size because you don't want the terrain to overwhelm the choices that your characters make. In this case, using Matchbox cars, or even, particularly the Hot Wheels cars, which are a lot more cartoony. If I pull out a couple more of these, you know, this Jeep, this Land Rover, he looks pretty good. But again, if you compare him in size to any one of these figures, and now we can finally get a little bit of contrast with our suited guy, you can see that this is like, you know, it's like the Lollipop Guild is going to war in front of this Land Rover. In order to up my terrain game and make things look a lot nicer, I've decided to pay a little bit more attention to that. I think there is one. Now, oddly enough, this car, I think, is perfectly suited to scale. This is a car that came out of a box. It was like 20 cars for $2 or something crazy like that at your local big box retailer. And it works great. So we can keep this guy. He's pretty good. Our guys can see over. As mentioned in a previous video, I did spray dull coat it, and then I painted the tires and the hubcaps, and I gave them some recognizable headlights. But, so let's take a look here at our SUVs about yay big. What I did is I went and I bought some resin cars that are more suited to scale. And you can see here how much smaller this squad car is. In fact, do I have a squad car in my... I don't even think I do. I don't. So the take-home lesson here is, and for about 20 bucks, I think I got like 12 to 15 of these. We'll go through the full... There's the squad car. And then, of course, you need to have some good old boys just to do no harm. And you can see how much better. So there's our squad car versus the SUV. Now let's take a look at our sports car. Wow, that's just a beast, man. You can barely see over it. And this Firebird, is there Thunderbird, is it, I guess? You know, you're supposed to be able to see over them. Now look at that. See the difference? This General Lee, man, I could totally see Bo and Luke sliding across that hood and jumping in through the windows, where here, man, you'd be hard-pressed to get over it at all, even with a run and start. So we got a nice little sports car, and then, again, for about 20 bucks, there's an SUV. Boy, look at that comparison. If I was a real YouTuber, I would have had this ready to go. Look at the difference in sizes. You can actually kind of see over this SUV. It's perfect. So we're going to upgrade, and again, at $20 for about 12 of these, they're not that much more expensive, but I do have to offer you a bit of a warning. Some of these are a lot bigger in order to cut down on the weight. This little Humvee is hollow on the inside, which is fine, right? Because it cuts down on the weight, cuts down on the material. We like that. There are some smaller vehicles. I got a nice little shave ice car here, and I know this is turning into kind of just a show and tell. We like to do more real live practical applications, you know, gaming in progress. But I wanted to show you these, and I'll but see, here's the first of the issues. Honestly, these prints or sculpts or whatever they are, they're not the best. Can you see, even if I bump it, let me flip this over. That's what the tire is supposed to look like. This is what this tire looks like. They're not great sculpts. There are some miscasts in here, and more than I like. They also had weird artifacts of is it the printing process? So take a look here at the mom again, the family vehicle here. If you look underneath, you see this. I got tired of carving these out. a lot of these have this weird, I mean, I kind of cut it back, but this came all the way forward, which was pretty gnarly. And then some of them have, I mean, I'm not complaining. Of course, I had to get the one with the Land Rover. I like a Land Rover. I drive a Land Rover. If you see me tooling around, give me a shout. This is the old school, not like the one I got. But some of these, let's see if I can find another one. So we got another. We got, you got to have a couple of black SUVs, you know, for that Alex Jones feel. And then of course a cab just for the city feel. Again, he looks pretty good there. And one of the things I wanted to show you the taxi cab for, the little checkerboard pattern there. If we zoom way in on that to give you an idea what it looks like, I just used a fine tip pen to just put a couple of rows of dots. Oh, she's not going to zoom in, is she? But those dots, once you get on the tabletop, they kind of fade into a nice little checkerboard pattern. And likewise, it's very similar to this top light here. I just put a couple of dots. Works great. Then we got, again, keeping with the variety, we've got a red pickup truck. And then we've got this, all for about 20 bucks. Easy peasy, looks great. Our terrain is doing so much better. Quick one today. Thanks for coming for the ride. And again, I'll put a link to where I got the manufacturer. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there'll be a link in the description if you want to get some of these of your own. Like $2 to $3 a piece, as opposed to $1 a piece. Yeah, it costs twice as much, but still, 20 bucks, all you need. Till then. Till next time, I should say. I'm praying for you.